Peace, fam. This is your brother Maul, the other Maul, hitting you with an extra special segment today. Still Tom about it, right? This is an extra segment where we take those sideline conversations and those little tangent conversations and it's turned into its own thing. It got a life all its own. Sometimes the conversation is that good, whatever you're sipping on is that good, whatever you're smoking on is that good, but the conversation get extra better, so we added an extra segment because we still Tom about it.
Do you podcast yourself? You just like conversing about different subjects? What's up?
I'm actually thinking about starting a podcast. I've been thinking about starting for like the last year, but I don't really know how I feel about being out there yet.
What's stopping you, or what's making you hesitate?
I'm polyamorous, so I date multiple men on a serious level. And my parents are like super religious. Like my mom's a pastor, my dad's a deacon, and so yeah.
So that'll make you hesitate on doing a podcast, or
You said what?
that'll make you hesitate on doing a podcast?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like my lifestyle is not traditional, and I kind of worry about how it's going to affect like my parents in the community.
So do everybody know about it? Do your family know?
So like my family doesn't know, but it's not because I'm hiding it. They just like, they know about my one boyfriend. They just haven't met the other one.
Okay, man.
Okay, the dude that just popped in, this is my brother. He's the third wing of now I'm talking about Mo, the homie, like, you know, the convo is just a extended convo we had with Chase. And I'm assuming your name's Tiffany, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tiffany was invited by Chase, and we still waiting on Chase, and I think he has somebody else with him. I guess that's that. We ain't really started yet, but you know how we go. The episode might have already started. We'll find out when it come out. How you doing out there, though, bro?
Yeah, Chase got 2 guests. He trying to jump us, bro?
Yeah, boy.
They jumping me. It's all good. Nah, everything's cool, man. I just came back from this meeting thing about Jaden. We're gonna get him in some some extra school stuff because I'm trying to get that boy ahead of the class, you dig?
I hear that.
We gotta be competitive, man. It's a competitive game out here, you know? We gotta make our children competitive.
I know that's right. Tiffany, I guess not elevator pitch, but I guess a quick synopsis of what is it?
I knew it. Because poly.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Well, yeah, break it down for me and 14 viewers, please.
Okay. So I mean, polyamory, it could be done in multiple different ways. Technically, I would consider myself like a relationship anarchist. I know it sounds a lot cooler than it probably is, but basically, I don't really see my relationships in like a hierarchy. So my friendships are, like some of my friendships require as much energy as some of my relationships. And I guess it's kind of hard to explain. So like my dynamic, the way this all started was basically I had a terrible marriage. And
can I ask, I'm sorry, can I ask how long you were married?
4 years.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I had a terrible marriage, and then kind of after that just wanted to explore like different ways of connecting with people because I felt like I did it the right way, and it just wasn't what it was. So polyamory gave me I would say it gave me the space to explore authentic relationships as they come, and it's not dependent on any connection that I have with anybody else, and I think just really having more conversations with men, I found that like monogamy isn't something that men necessarily want. It's something they settle for to get who they want necessarily. So it's like, why put yourself in a box when I don't really care about monogamy per se.
Can I had a question a little while ago. You married young? You married young?
Yeah, well, I was 22.
Okay. That makes
Yeah.
okay. And I forgot my second question because that kind of changes a lot.
All right, I got a question. So are all your relationships, I don't want to ask you a number, but are all your relationships sexual, or is it like a financial relationship or educational relationship?
I mean, so like, if I'm dating somebody, it's going to be sexual. I do have male relationships that are not sexual, but they're not strictly friends. So, I don't know if that really answers your question. Like, not every person I'm with, I'm sexual with, but I do have 2 boyfriends currently.
The reason why I guess I paused or whatever, because the first thing you mentioned was monogamy.
Yeah.
So it seems like a lot of the whole different types of marriages or arrangements or relationships have a lot to do with the freedom of having sex with who you want to have sex with. Or is that just a man thinking like that?
Yeah, well, so I guess it's more like, I don't want to put rules on people. I don't like on people that like I don't care, like the rules I don't care about. So for instance, like in my marriage, we participated in threesomes. And so I didn't necessarily care about the sexual interaction with someone else. It was more of like the honesty, And so when I realized after my marriage that I didn't necessarily care about the exclusivity sexually, and it was just like having an open and honest communication about like your desires and like what you want, like so we could talk about it and figure it out. It just like I found that in ethical non-monogamy, like you can have that conversation like, hey, like I love you, but sexually, like I'm looking for something different, or like intellectually, like we click on this level, but like sometimes I want to have deeper conversations with somebody of the opposite sex, and it doesn't mean like it's taking away from that one person, like you're lacking something. It's just the ability to see that in other people, I guess.
Okay.
So now is this the thing where everybody's aware of everybody else?
Yeah, you have to, like, it's not polyamory or ethical non-monogamy if not everybody's aware. It's cheating.
Mm-hmm. Okay. One thing real quick, everything we've said so far, you're cool with that? Or
yeah,
okay, cool. This is Still Talking About It. Now I'm talking about I am Maul Got It On. That's Do Shizzle.
It's too much going on for you to be trying to let everybody.
Okay, cool. This is
go
the
ahead,
other
host
Maul. Okay, this is the other Maul, and of course we have a guest today, Tiffany, invited by the homie Chase, who might pop in, who might not pop in. We'll see. The convo is the convo. We're just gonna continue going on. I don't know if somebody want to pick it up from that rude interruption or what. Go ahead, Maul. You've been quiet down there, man. I always say something. You've been quiet.
Over there stewing and shit.
Okay.
You got a pen and
shit. I just want to make sure I have my thoughts together. I want to make sure I note down anything I need to, if necessary. But yeah, so
Action,
now just listening to what the sister was talking about. You know, I'm trying to figure out if there's a certain direction we want to go, some questions you want to ask, or if it's like a general convo, you know? Because if it's a continuation from last time, that conversation kind of had like two different topics on it, you know? You could talk about different kinds of relationships, um, and or my whole thing that started that conversation, well, a part of that conversation was the fact that I said that if you're in a relationship for 14, 15 years and you just boyfriend and girlfriend, then there's a problem on the dude's part, you know? And that's when like Chase peeked up a little bit and was like, no, that's not right, you know? And then it like rolled into a bunch of other stuff. So it just depends on whichever way y'all want to go, you know?
I kind of
My
like
whole
the
thing is just to put my opinion out.
No, go ahead.
No, it's I go if I feel like whatever relationship works for somebody, it works. You feel me? If it works, you know. So if you want to be, you know, single, I'm not gonna be like you gotta be married because some people are better off single. Some people don't want to be committed like that. Some people want to be poly. Some people are, you know, successful in different kinds of relationships. Some people are okay if you get divorced after a certain amount of years, you know. Some people are like, you never let it go, you know. Like, you know, a cat named Dan Savage will say like divorce doesn't necessarily equate failure in a relationship. It just could have ran its course. And people have different opinions about that concept, you know. Me personally, if it works for you, it works for you because I want people to be happy, loving, honest. I want people to have integrity. You know, if I bring the racial thing into it, I love for us black people to be with black people. But when it comes to like relationship time wise, my opinion is if you're a man with a girlfriend and you've been together for 10 years, I think that's a baby boy, you know? That's my opinion. You know what I'm saying? That kind of perpetual non-committal kind of thing is more indicative of immaturity, in my opinion, than like a life choice. But that's different than somebody who's like poly or completely non-committal, as far as like they just rather be single, you know?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
If
Because
that
like
makes sense.
yeah, like I think for me, I realized like going back to monogamy just wouldn't fit my ultimate needs or like the men that I'm looking for's ultimate needs, if that makes sense. So for instance, like I don't want to have any more and I don't necessarily want to cohabitate with my partner, like, yeah. So that's a little those are two major things that like people in monogamous relationships look for. Like serious monogamous relationship, they want to get married, they want to have kids, they want to move in. And like that kind of puts me in this weird space where how can I ask a man to like commit to just me when like I can't ultimately like give him all the things that I mean, I guess it just depends on what kind of guy I'm looking for. But like, you know, those are like big things. And it narrows down the field because like there are monogamous people that don't want to get married or have kids, but they also often fall into a fuckboy category. So it's like
Can I ask you a question, Tiffany?
yeah.
Did your kind of change from monogamous being married to poly, would you say that was more of a natural thing from you, or is that something that happened from that crushing experience of being divorced and then this kind of acceptance or surrendering to the fact that a lot of guys are going to cheat and do X, Y, Z? So you kind of came into this poly almost by you know,
Consequence.
like, I don't want to say by force, but was it like a natural thing out of you that's like, I'm more poly than monogamous? Or did life and its kind of like foulness say, this is probably the lane I'm going to have to, you know, be in to maybe find some kind of happiness?
So I think I think I can say it's a little bit of both, right? So I've always been more of like an open, kind of like a free-spirited person. But I mean, growing up, you know, our culture is centered around monogamy. Like, we just don't know other options until you really get to like looking into it. And like with the way my family is and like how that's structured, like I can't tell you, like, I think maybe there's like 3 or 4 people in my family that are single parent. You know what I mean? Like, everybody just kind of stays with everybody. So I think knowing that like my free-spirited nature was different than my conservative upbringing, and then like having different experiences like before I got married, like in college, just seeing how people kind of interacted on a genuine level, but it wasn't necessarily like committed. You know, I mean, we're in college, you know how that goes. But then definitely like being married and like going through that relationship, it definitely made me think like I did most of the right things. So like, why didn't this work out? So that kind of made me think like, maybe I'm doing this wrong. So I guess it's a mixture between my openness, and then life changes that made me question, like, is this the only way to do it?
Do you see poly being a forever thing, or
Yeah, I'm not. I'm not going back.
So from okay, I ain't mean to ask it like that. So from monogamy, did you jump straight to poly? Did you try other type of? Did you?
Oh yeah, I mean, like, I think polyamory.
Anything else?
Like, that was kind of like, I was dating people, you know, like I got out in the dating scene and realized that like polyamory is kind of like dating people.
I was about to ask the same thing. Like, what's the difference between dating people and practicing poly? I'm not gonna figure out that word.
Yeah, so it's kind of like, it's like a gateway. Like, if you really wanna, you know what I mean, you could really stay in that area, but I think the difference is when you're dating people, like, you're looking to find that person and you're cutting off everybody else. You know what I mean? Like, you're like, all right, like, I'm gonna deal with you until.
So with poly, there's no my bad. So with poly, there's no limit. There's not, you're not trying to find a starting 5 or like
polyamory, if done right and responsibly, is based on like your polysaturation, which is like everybody has their own like emotional threshold. You know what I mean? Like, for me, I could really only see myself having like 2 primary boyfriends, and then maybe like, you know, like a friend or something, you know, but like, that's pretty much my limit. I know some people that have 5, you know what I mean? Some people have 3, 1, you know, but it's whatever you kind of know. And it's really based on like your partners. Like, each partner, you can have like one super needy partner and then like one like super low maintenance partner. You know, it's just kind of like, the beautiful thing about that is you can kind of a la carte it. Like, you could be like, okay, this is what I need to do here and there. But so with polyamory, the difference between dating and polyamory is like, when you're polyamorous and you find somebody else that you're like, you know, interested in and want to explore that connection with, you don't have to stop what you're doing with the other person, because it doesn't, like, it's not, there's no correlation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you're doing it right, then the energy that you're already putting into getting to know that person, you're not taking away that from that other person. You know what I mean? You shouldn't be dating somebody if you feel like it's going to take time away from your other person. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. Like, you should only look to date people if you have extra time and space, you know? No? Does that make sense?
It still
Okay.
sounds like dating, but Chase will interject and say, because I've been married all my life. But it does still sound like just dating, and you just never stop dating. Like you'll deal with two people your entire life, and if you want to, you will date another person, and those two people know about it. That just sounds like it sounds like it just doesn't sound like it's a real commit. Go ahead.
Okay, so you don't.
What's the difference? Hold on. What's the difference between dating and your marriage commitment? Because either way, it's all about the rules and boundaries that you guys have set. Because I have friends who are married, but they like or have a rule with each other that whatever happens when they out of town happens when they out of town. Now you take somebody else's marriage and they're like, fuck no, you're not doing that. That's cheating. You feel me? So it's all about the rules and boundaries that you two have set. So you're saying, oh, dating sounds like this. It's putting dating in a bracket of, oh, it's beneath this. When in reality, it could be stronger than the marital bond.
See, I didn't say beneath. I was just asking if.
But the word you use and the way that you have you go about the structure of what you're saying points to that direction. Because you're saying, well, that sounds like dating.
And I think that's. Oh, I'm sorry. What you say?
No, it's just like you refer to it like, oh, that's just dating. Like, I mean, like, what else would it be? Like, what are you doing when you're just married? Like, what is, like how? Okay.
I think I get it. Sorry. I think what I'm taking is like, is there a goal with poly? Like if I'm dating, like if I'm a monogamous type dude and I want to get married, right?
Yeah.
While I'm dating, my goal is to meet women, vet women to see if we're going to match up and see if their personality and life goals align with mine, so I can progress towards some kind of end goal, family, legacy, children, home, business, all of that stuff. With poly, is there some kind of end goal?
You can do all of those
like
things and still be poly. You literally can. All those things you name are not exclusive.
I didn't say it was exclusive, my dear brother. I'm just asking if there's like a certain goal, And I think that's where my brother is.
What I'm saying is what you're describing is just like a basis goal. You're not describing a goal that's mutual, that's exclusive to marriage.
Right.
Family, that's not something that's exclusive to marriage. Building partnerships or like building wealth, that's not exclusive to marriage.
But I think
building a company.
I think what we're saying is that's our goal though. So we're asking, what is the goal? If it's with poly, if the goal is still just to build legacy that's not really connected to another person, then that's what it is.
Well, so like
I just want to clarify. I just wanted to clarify my part. I want to make sure that we all know I'm in this conversation in good faith.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm not coming into this conversation with some kind of like agenda or something.
No. Less of that. I'm just explaining to you your words. The words that you use, they make directed points. Words matter. You know what I'm saying? The choice of words matter.
Since we're here, I think that's kind of what happened. I think that's kind of what happened last time, though. And this is kind of where we ended last time. I think a lot of times, like, and this could just be because I've been married all my life and I am married, and that's how it sounds to me. So I will say, I guess, in my opinion, it just seems like a lot of times the married people are just chilling and the other relationships are saying that what we're doing is wrong. And then when we ask a question, no, it's not you, because it's the first time I've talked to you, and the whole time we were talking, all I've been doing is learning from you. So it's definitely not you. You know what I mean? That is a rare case. But a lot of times it is just that. And it's not even just for marriages in a lot of situations. You know what I mean? A lot of times when we talk about the whole gender conversation, the people who's in this boat, they're chilling. And then somebody else says, what y'all are doing wrong. And we're just like, okay, so what are you doing? And then you're like, why you're attacking? I'm like, okay, because you said I was doing something wrong. And I just asked, what are you doing? And that was it. It's just a
but no one's ever said that it was wrong. No one ever said that what you guys are doing is wrong.
I understand what they're trying to ask. Basically, they're trying to ask, like, so like, okay, we know what the typical goal is for married people. You know what I mean? Kids, family, marriage.
I don't know that because every typical marriage is different.
Right. Right. But they're asking, what about polyamory? So, I mean, I think it's the same way, like in marriages, like, you know, it's those goals are set by the individual. Like, for instance, my partner, like, he's starting a business. Like, we do business like plans, and, you know, we go on vacations, and I have a son. We started an education savings plan. Like, we do those things, but there are other people in polyamorous relationships, and in my other polyamorous relationship, like, I don't do that with them, and it's not necessarily because, like, it's a lesser than, it's just a different allocation, you know? So I think polyamorous people, they have goals too. Like, we have goals. It's just kind of, the ultimate goal isn't this like relationship escalator. Like, we don't have like steps. Like, you know, you don't get engaged, like, you don't start dating, then like get engaged, married, then have kids, and like it can go different ways. But I think
you kind of do.
Huh?
You kind of do. You just don't label it the same way. I think that's the real problem. Like, everybody's in relationships, and everybody feel like there needs to be a label.
Explain why you say kind of do. Explain that. Explain you say kind of do.
Say what?
So, like, he's saying, like, what do you
said kind of do? Like, what do you mean kind of do? How is it the same?
What were you saying, Tiffany?
He was saying that, like, okay, like, so when you did say about we kind of do, you were referring to, like, we kind of do have relationship escalators.
I mean, the steps. Like, you do have steps. Like, you deal with this person, you find out, okay, this is the person I want to have a relationship with. I want to build with this person. And I think I was saying that I think all of us are in relationships.
Yeah,
people feel like there has to be boxes, but there doesn't. Feel like there has to be titles, but there doesn't. This is my relationship. What you want to call it is what you want to call it.
Right.
But this is my relationship. I think that's what it is, because everything you're naming is like, it's the same thing we do. We just, either you don't call it something, or we do call it something.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think that's what I try to convey to people about, like, non-monogamy and polyamory. Like, they're actually relationships. Like, we're not just out here like fucking random people. Like,
my thoughts on all this is probably different than all y'all's though.
And then, like I said,
feel like they both look wrong.
The little young,
If
you open up your relationship,
I feel like
you're not in one.
No, I don't feel like I don't agree with that.
Nah,
I don't agree
unless everybody.
What you said, my bad?
If you open up your relationship, you're basically not even in one.
No, because I think they go through the program of what relationship is supposed to be.
Yeah, because
but that's what I'm saying. Just look at it. If you're fucking around,
you're taking a European ideology of relationships. What you're doing.
No,
you're talking about monogamy.
No, I'm not talking about monogamy. I'm talking about everybody. If you're talking about polygamy, that's everybody living together. They don't
have to live together.
That's not open. That's not open.
No, it's just
that's not
very
open.
simple.
That's not polygamy. Is not open. That's not open.
Everybody doesn't live together.
Open is you do what you do, I do what I do. We come back and we're together.
We don't lie about this.
Nah. But polygamy is everybody knowing what it is and we're coexisting.
No, well, it's more aligned with polyamory or either relationship anarchy. That's what that sounds like. Which one?
Nah,
polyamory.
I'll ask this because I don't have any opinion about like a different kind of relationship as long as people are honest and it works for them. I look at people as like animals, you know, like everybody's a different kind of animal. You know, some people are monogamous, some aren't, some live in clans, some are nomads, some are more solitary, some are more, you know, there's people that are asexual, they don't, you know what I'm saying? There's all kinds of things. Do you think there should be a goal in a relationship, regardless of type or what it looks like?
Absolutely. Like,
you do?
Yeah.
So if you go into like a poly relationship, what's the goal of, like, are you trying to build something? Because I mean, it's all the same kind of relationship. Like the same way poly people may want a business and family.
Yeah.
And a married couple you may have a married couple that just want to be married. They don't want no kids. They don't want to have the same last name. They don't even want to live together sometimes. So it's really just like this. We almost get into semantics when you get into like the rules and boundaries and what some people allow, you know? But what would be like a goal then? What would you say is like a goal? for a relationship?
I mean, I can only tell you about my goals. So like, for instance, like
but
a
do you
goal.
think they should have a goal?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a huge thing. I think people should interact with people with intention and purpose. If you're looking for a committed, serious relationship, like if you're not looking for something where, you know, if you're looking for something that's got like a finite like deadline on it, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, I guess like the goal is to have as much fun as you can while you're in it. But like, I think people that approach relationships without goals, intentions, or purpose, like they're not looking for relationship. Like, I think they're just out here connecting. Like, you know what I mean? Like I think a lot of people can hide in non-monogamy. When they're really just monogamous people looking to fuck around. Like, you know, like I think it gives people, I guess it gives the non-monogamous people a bad name, but that's just like cheaters give monogamous people bad names. You know what I mean? Same thing. So it's like, I think if you really look, if you're talking to somebody who really understands and appreciates human connection and the relationship, like, yeah, there's gonna be goals. Like, you know, like I want to see you in the rest of my life. Like, these are the things I want to do with you while, you know, that is a thing. So, yeah.
I think that's the thing that paints alternative relationship types with like a negative brush, is because to the public eye, through like social media, pop culture, it seems very aimless,
right?
Which can translate as immature sometimes, because people will just go, well, you know, we're breaking tradition and love is different. But when you watch them, it's all this kind of transient cycling of emotional chaos. Some people don't follow the rules. Some people don't respect the boundaries. Some people catch feelings and it's coming away, and it's like, well, you did kind of just want one person and you really can't handle, you know? So I think saying that a relationship should have a goal is a good thing, because I think that's what gives
structure
different lifestyles like a bad, right? I think that's what gives it a negative or a misunderstood kind of thing, right? It's because it seems from the kind of layman eye, this kind of unstructured free-for-all, which it's hard to take seriously. I'm not saying I'm looking at your situation like that. I'm just talking about like in a general context, you know? That's, and I say that to say my comment from the last week's episode when I said, you know, if a dude is in a relationship with a girl and they're just girlfriend and it's like 10, 14 years, I do look at that as a very baby boy, immature, underdeveloped kind of thing, because it seems very structureless, without a goal, and aimless, you know?
And I would agree with you if he's telling her that marriage is something he's looking for, you know what I mean? Or if he knows like that she wants marriage,
bingo, because marriage like, might not be the goal.
If they both aren't looking for marriage, then, you know, it's kind of one of those things like you're looking on the outside and like, you know, these two people can be perfectly happy. And I say that to say, because I know plenty of motherfuckers that are married and they're miserable, absolutely miserable. And they're doing it just because like this was the next step. You know what I mean? Like, I got her pregnant, I got to marry her. Or like, I've been with her for 3 years. Like, damn, I got to marry her because like I'm wasting her time. You know what I mean? And like, I think it comes back to the honesty thing. Like, y'all, like, and I don't want to throw niggas under the bus, but like, y'all lack the
be honest about it,
and the bravery to tell like the honesty. Like, you guys trap people in relationships on a lie. You know what I mean? Like, bitches stay in relationships for years. I stayed with that man for years.
Why we just throwing this on niggas?
I was about to say, because women be fuck niggas too, man. And I'm going to tell you from experience. Women be fuck niggas too.
I wasn't even going that way. I was just talking about, I was trying to defend black man.
But that was
No,
my,
women be
that was
fuck
my whole
niggas
point
too.
from my original comment.
Yeah, I will caveat that by saying that men weren't raised to like be like this this supporting cast member to someone else.
So can we say that all women aren't, you know what I mean, I guess
We about to do it.
particular.
I'm saying like what not how people grow up, like not how women actually are, but like what society is pushing on us. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen things like, oh yeah, you got to choose your man or your career. Like, huh? How come that's not a thing for guys? Like, why don't guys have to choose them like their wife or career? You know, like they get married too, you know, and it's just like, it's like different things. Like women are, there's this natural thing where there's value added to you if you have this man. And so women are very eager to get married. Men don't have those pressures on them about this. Like, if anything, like you guys, when it's time, when you guys feel like, oh, I've run the streets enough and I'm just gonna pick a girl and she's gonna be ready to marry me, because like that's the thing. You can find good girls that want to marry you. You may not love them because you were too immature at fucking 25 when you met her. You let her go, and so now you're like, well, I'm just gonna marry this woman. She's a good girl. She'll raise my kids, and it'll be enough.
And it seems like a lot of time that gets thrown as the one example when I don't know if all of us watch The Chi, but we see how that did everybody here watch The Chi, or do
I didn't watch it.
Okay, well, dude is good as he can be. You know what I mean? And the girl basically gets rid of him because he's just too fucking nice. Like I think, like a lot of times people want to bring up the worst instance to have an argument, and I don't know, and like I don't know, I could be brainwashed, but it just seems weird.
So, and I think it's a perception thing, maybe, because for me, like that story that I just told, I can tell you 10, 15 more stories like that. Like,
yeah, I guess I come from the boat where like everybody in my family's married, good relationships, right. or that's what they put out, that it is a good relationship, right. But they went the entire time. But I mean, okay, so if you have if you have a different type of relationship and you don't talk about the bad stuff going on in the relationship, it's just like if you have a benign relationship and you don't talk about that stuff, correct? Because in the poly joint,
hey, on the other side, that nigga Emmett chose to be a part of that.
I wasn't even talking about that. Put your headphones back on, bro. I wasn't talking about
I'm listening to you. You was talking about The Chi.
But you jumped in and said something completely incorrect, my nigga.
Because y'all started talking about something else, and I was trying to let her finish so I could go back and address that. I was listening the whole time.
He won't listen.
I think I've been listening the whole time.
Okay.
When she gave y'all those examples,
do you comprehend?
I was listening.
And that goes to my point of, can you really multitask?
Thank you. Back to the bank.
Listen.
Back to the bank, my nigga. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Sandy Spring. We can go through it, homie. Again. All right, you good, Mom? All right, I know you good, dude.
I'm on
y'all see I ain't asked Chase, right?
I'm good, bro.
He on the game anyway, man.
Just send it. Hey, I'm multitask shouty over here. I'm listening, talking, playing the game. I got the multitask going. I got kids. I'm used to doing this.
That's so false. All right, we run back.
I was about to say that's false as shit. With kids, you got to focus on their ass.
No, yeah. All right.
No, they do.
For me, my personal thing is I don't use the word. My belief is like,
you don't use nigga? You don't use nigga? I didn't even notice that. Okay.
If I use nigga, it's in a negative way. Because at that point, It's not ambiguous. There's no well, he really means no. If I'm like, these niggas got like, it's a negative.
This nigga.
Yeah, it's a negative. You feel me? I don't.
What little brother say? Watch them new niggas over there.
It usually is a negative. That's the thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but just for me, I look at it like, when you got something with all of this ambiguity to it, you leave room for a bunch of misuse or misunderstanding.
I ain't got nothing to do. We can keep this convo going. I know, Maul, you're on the West Coast, so it's bright out there for you. Like I said, in about 5 more minutes, y'all want to keep this going. We can reload.
I was about to ask that too, because I was like, how this nigga out in the sunlight? What the hell?
That Cali, yo. That Cali.
Yeah, he like rubbing California in our face.
Yeah, it's like
Like, go and sit aside, nigga. Go sit in the room like everybody else.
You always outside in the beautiful sun. You always say, I'm in beautiful California. I'm up there, palm trees.
I thought there was a background going on, and I was like,
oh, you thought he had the green screen.
And I was like,
all of us indoors and shit.
Right.
Well, Chase, since you kind of listening, you got somewhere you want to carry the conversation before you jump right back out?